Beware, Mikey, of things in the dark. Cause Dad's taking us to King's Island and the Phantom Theater. Phantom Theater? Down in the shadows, there's this guy, and he looks like that. It was the Maestro.
Who?
The Maestro, that's who.
I didn't say who.
You didn't?
Phantom Theater. New at King's Island. Now save a full $5 with coupons from the Roses.
Picture this, a grand yet crumbling opera house at dusk, its chandeliers swaying in a ghostlit glow. You step inside, the velvet ropes trailing shadows, as the soft echo of distant applause leads you down a narrow hallway lined with haunting portraits whose eyes seem to follow. And just when you think it's all set for a grand show, a spectral laugh rings out. It's Maestro, hidden in the wings, beckoning you deeper into Phantom Theater. For many who rode it, those few seconds were enough to etch Phantom Theater into permanent memory. From its opening in 1992, it was unlike any other dark ride, blending vaudevillian whimsy with chilling flashbacks, using clever optics, animatronics, and a narrative-rich and ghostly character. But its gates shut in 2002, leaving behind fading echoes. That was until now.
Around. So, you wanted to see the theater, did ya?
Looking for some excitement, are you?
Fast forward to 2025, when it's announced that Phantom Theater Opening Nightmare will throw open its doors once more in 2026. And this time, you're not just a spectator. You're armed with a spellbound flashlight, racing through 26 interactive scenes to recapture spectral ghost notes before the curtain rises. It's set to be the beloved original reborn, updated, immersive, and more alive than ever. But before this opens, let's step behind the curtain and explore the full history of Phantom Theater. If you're enjoying this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel, as it would be highly appreciated. Before Phantom Theater existed, the building it called home was already hallowed ground in Kings Island history. When the park opened in 1972, this large show building wasn't filled with ghosts and chandeliers, but instead with cartoon magic. The original attraction, the Enchanted Voyage, was a boat ride designed to celebrate Hanna-Barbera characters. Riders floated past elaborate sets featuring Yogi Bear, Huckleberry Hound, Scooby-Doo, and dozens of other animated stars. By the mid-1980s, Hanna-Barbera still had recognition, but newer trends demanded updates. In 1984, the ride was therefore rethemed as Smurf's Enchanted Voyage, swapping out the classic cartoon stars for the cheerful Smurfs. While younger guests loved this new ride, older fans felt that the original magic was fading. Sure, the original building remained and a new dark ride had simply taken the stage. But by 1991, the Smurfs' popularity was waning, and the park faced a choice: continue with another children's cartoon ride, or attempt something bolder. This decision would define Kings Island's identity for the next decade, as they decided to take the path towards something bolder. With this, the Smurfs sailed into retirement, and in their place, the curtain was rising on something darker, richer, and far more theatrical: Phantom Theater. When Kings Island announced a brand new dark ride for the 1992 season, curiosity soared. Fans of course expected another cartoon tie-in, but instead the park introduced an entirely original story. Guests would step into a crumbling opera house run not by living performers, but by ghosts. The ride was half haunted house, half Broadway parody, mixing humor, suspense, and immersive storytelling in a way that regional parks rarely attempted. The ride system, an omnimover built by Morgan Manufacturing, allowed continuous movement through meticulously staged scenes. Designers at R&R Creative Amusement Designs and AVG Technologies brought over 38 ghostly figures to life, each with distinct personalities. Most iconic were the skeletal Maestro, Houdelini the bumbling magician, Hilda the fortune teller, and Garbanzo the clown. The queue itself, a dimly lit hallway lined with props and portraits, immersed guests from the moment they entered. When Phantom Theater opened, it was unlike anything Kings Island had ever offered before. Guests walked out quoting the characters, humming the haunting organ soundtrack, and telling friends that the park now had a dark ride on par with Disney or Universal. It wasn't just a ride. It was a truly immersive performance repeated for thousands of guests a day, every day for well over a decade. The ride began with a slow glide into darkness. The cars left the station, turning left toward Maestro, who pulled back a curtain and taunted the riders. Passing beneath it, guests saw portraits of the performers which used Pepper's ghost illusions to bring the gallery to life. A floating usher directed them to the dressing rooms, where performers prepared for the show. The last room belonged to the mighty Bosco, who struggled to open his own stuck door. In the next scene, an electrician flickered with the lights and shone a flashlight at riders. Stagehands followed, one pulled a rope while the other dangled upside down. In rehearsal, Houdelini pulled a demonic rabbit from his hat, and Hilda Bovine's high note shattered a mirror. The usher led riders into the auditorium for a Pepper's Ghost spectacle. Maestro played the organ, Houdelini levitated, Hilda sang atop a tower, and Garbanzo launched from a cannon into a wall. Maestro reappeared, blocking the way out. The cars then passed through the prop room with strange sights such as a talking gargoyle, a mummy bursting from a sarcophagus, a giant mouse startling a cat, and a talking Roman statue. Finally, riders entered the boiler room, where a furnace blasted hot air as boiler men shoveled coal. The vehicles returned to the station, and Maestro's voice followed, "You'll be back." And for many, this message lingered, pulling them back time and time again. Unlike traditional haunted rides, Phantom Theatre blended spooky and playful elements, more similar to Disney's Haunted Mansion than any other traditional ghost train. For this, parents appreciated its family-friendly scares, while teens loved the subtle edge. Its cast of memorable characters, Maestro, Houdelini, Hilda, and Garbanzo, gave it personality, making it more than just a ride. It truly was a story. This attraction was also important for introducing many Midwestern guests to high-quality dark ride experiences, ultimately inspiring a devoted fan base. Even in the pre-social media era, fan newsletters, guidebooks, and even local papers celebrated this attraction. As time passed, nostalgia cemented its legend, and by the time it closed in 2002, the ride had become a defining childhood memory for an entire generation. But by the early 2000s, Phantom Theatre was aging. Animatronics slowed, effects became outdated, and maintenance costs climbed. At the same time, guests' expectations shifted towards more interactive experiences. Passive rides were losing appeal to the rising popularity of shooting gallery-style attractions. So, despite its devoted fanbase, Kings Island made the difficult decision to close the ride in July 2002, but the building would not remain idle for long. In 2003, the theatre became Scooby-Doo and the Haunted Castle. The Omnimover system remained, but riders were now armed with laser guns to zap ghosts in an interactive experience. The sets were cartoonish, animatronics simplified, and humour replaced much of the original theatre's gothic charm. Families loved it, but enthusiasts mourned the loss of depth and detail. But still, it kept the building alive, bridging the gap until licensing changes forced yet another retheme. In 2010, Cedar Fair had to retheme the ride again, this time creating Boo Blasters on Boo Hill. The ride system stayed, but Scooby-Doo was gone, replaced by generic haunted ghosts under blacklight. Gameplay remained interactive, but atmosphere and storytelling was completely diminished. Sure, for casual guests, this attraction worked, but for fans of Phantom Theatre, it was a pale shadow. Yet, even here, nostalgia still lingered. Props from the original ride occasionally appeared during Halloween events, hinting that Maestro and his cast had never truly vanished. Outside of the park, online communities kept the Phantom alive. Fan art, petitions, and online forum discussions celebrated the original ride. In 2022, the 50th anniversary of the park brought Phantom Theatre Encore, a live stage show that resurrected the characters. The Maestro, Houdelini, Hilda, and Garbanzo performed for fans old and new. Audience reactions proved the ride's enduring legacy. The Phantom was clearly unforgettable, and its magic was timeless. After Encore, speculation surged. Boo Blasters looked neglected, teaser posts hinted at secrets, and fans noticed leftover props returning to Halloween events. Thanks to this, social media buzzed with speculation and even more fan art, and hints seemed to point to a revival, but for years this remained unconfirmed. Then, in August 2025, the park teased the Maestro, and then revealed the truth. Phantom Theatre Opening Nightmare would debut in spring 2026. With 26 interactive scenes, restored and enhanced animatronics, projection mapping, spellbound flashlights, and an ambitious new finale, the ride promised to merge nostalgia with innovation. Fans erupted. Social media flooded with excitement, speculation, and anticipation. The Phantom, long thought to be gone, was set to return bigger, bolder, and more interactive than ever before. The show would go on. From Hanna-Barbera in the 1970s to the return of Phantom Theatre in 2026, the building that housed Phantom Theatre has been a stage for generations. it has adapted, evolved, but ultimately survived, through laughter, scares, and applause. The Maestro, Houdelini, Hilda, Garbanzo, and countless other ghosts are not just characters. They are icons of imagination, storytelling, and immersive theme park design. Phantom Theatre has proven that a ride can live in memory as vividly as it does in reality. As guests prepare to step once more into its shadowed halls, one truth remains: Phantom Theatre is more than just a ride. It is a legend, a story, and a heartbeat of Kings Island that will echo on for decades to come. And in 2026, the show goes on. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and check out some of my other videos in the links in the description. And if you're lucky enough to have any personal memories with any of these attractions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Or just let me know what you're looking forward to about the new ride.